Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session today. I hope you are all ready and fresh in order to start this day. Today, I'm going to start with you like a sample application that we can follow on our projects, whatever projects you are going to be presenting during the Imagine Cup competition. I will be demonstrating for you how to start an application and build the several technologies that we have been taught on or we have seen during the sessions and during the next sessions. So what I want you to know is that this is a demo application or a sample application. You are not obliged or supposed to follow it as is, but it will be just refreshing your memory about what we have explained before, and it will be like a prototype you can follow on. What we'll be seeing in this demonstration or application we're going to see are the following steps. As I told you before, it's not like you should follow these steps exactly, but in designing any application, you should have what is called the roadmap for this application. Here I have just created a roadmap for what we are going to be seeing during this session and the next session on Thursday. And during the upcoming sessions, we will be also touching on these, on the technologies that we are going to be using. So everything we are aiming to is to prepare you to be ready to create your own solutions, your own application for the AI Innovators competition or for the Imagine Cup competition. So let's roll on and dig deeper into technologies. Let's get our hands dirty with the work and how things are will be done. So let me just now show you or tell you what are the main things we are going to be working with. What I'm going to be, or my idea was creating something like a medical application that monitors the patient's reservations with doctors so they can have a reservation and they can log the patient's uh, health status and complete on the top of this application. First thing we need to do is to create the application. We can create it through different solutions, but since we are working with Power Apps, we're going to start with Power Apps. One of the options that you have learned was the Dataverse. The Dataverse, I am going to talk about it when we start working, but in general, Dataverse is like a solution for storing data in tables. There are a lot of features related to Dataverse, that it has its own security, that it's online, that it includes ready-made tables. So it's one of the ways we can store our information. First thing, we will need to even select a table from the ready tables. And even if we need to have our custom tables, Dataverse technology gives us this ability in order to create our own customized, remember the words, our own customized table. So I have the option to have ready-made table. I just select these tables and I start filling them with my own information. Or if I need to have my own customized table, I can do that. So whenever I start creating the tables, I just create the tables, decide how do I want to link these tables together by what is called the relationships. So after creating the tables, I would be going with the relationships, because the relationships allows me to connect between the tables. So whenever I need to read any information that is between the related tables, it can bring up this information if they are within the relationship or the scope of these relationships. Then I will be heading to the canvas where I will be creating the interface of the tables or interface of the whole application. After that, we're going to create a simple automation with Power Automate that alerts or sends an email to the patient who reserves with a doctor. Whenever a new row or a new patient is entered to the tables, it will automatically send him a confirmation email that his or her appointment was created. Then after that, we're going to use the Power BI to show some important data. We will decide together what data we want to show. This will be shown to the doctors and will be shown maybe to the patients in order to track some information, and maybe for the doctors to know how many patients do they have. Maybe they need to know how many diabetes patients with, or maybe others with high blood pressure or whatever. So this is the part when we also go to using the AI models to create a system that will read some information from the documents of the patients. Also, we're going to create a chatbot that can answer questions to the patients. Maybe when is my date or my appointment, whatever information we implement in these dataverse tables, this chatbot can retrieve answers from in a generative way. Then after that, we're going to create an Azure machine learning model to predict future diseases for patients. Of course, we'll need to add additional data in order to give the model a lot of data sets to just create the predictions that we want. And as a cherry on the top, we're going to create a system that will read the documents or the surveys that patients fill after they are done with their visits or with their appointments. And this Azure Vision or Text Vision analyzer will detect or see the patient's overall situations. Are they happy? Are they satisfied? Whatever the condition is. So this is the main steps for our demonstration application, and these are the things that we are aiming for. Of course, whenever we are going to learn a new thing in our sessions, we will be adding that in the proper manner and in the proper place for that application. So before I go on and start working with this application, let me show you an application that I have already created and we are working it in our company. The first thing I would need to do first, the first thing first is to go to make.powerapps.com. So this is how I logged into Power Apps, make.powerapps.com. It will take
Khaled?
me to, yes.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that we can see your screen. Now we can see it. Yes, thank you. Would you like us to share the hands-on file from now?
If you like to, it's okay.
Okay, thank
During my demonstration, you can share it.
you.
Okay,
Okay.
I added a file that you can use to follow on, or maybe to keep it as a record within your hands. Maybe if you like to work on other times to alone to just remind of every steps we are going to perform here. So this file will be shared with you during the session now. So before we head to start to our creating our own application, let me just show you an application that is ready and has all the most of the components I'm talking about. I will roll on it quickly just to give you an idea about a finalized project that is really on work, not only a demonstration. So I will go to make.powerapps.com, and here I am making sure I'm in the proper environment. Guys, please, can you all access the Power Apps? Do you all have the ability to access the Microsoft Power Apps by using the URL?
Khaled,
Let me show.
we shared the
Yes,
hands-on content, so please, everyone, please download the hands-on file using the link that my colleague shared, and
thank
then
you.
access. If you can just give us the link, Khaled, we can post it in the chat. Come on, just to make sure that everyone is accessing the same page. So after you download the file, please click on the link that Khalid shared in the chat and follow us step by step. It's really important that you follow the step that Khalid is showing because we want you at the end of today's session to finish all the steps before we go to part two on Thursday. Just give us a thumbs up, everyone, if you're able to access the download if you are able to download the file, and if you already clicked on the link that Khalid shared. Perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone. Khalid, you may continue.
Okay. Now, as I told you, we have the file that you have downloaded. Keep it with you now. Let me just show you a ready demonstrate a ready application and show you the parts of this application quickly, and then we'll be starting with our own application. So the first thing I would like to show to you now is the application that is ready. And the first thing I did is made sure that I am in the proper environment. So here I am in the proper environment that I have created the application on. I have different applications within my environment. Okay, I will just show you one of the applications that I have created earlier. All I need to do, here are my applications. When you create application, they will be visible here for you. And I will press on the play. Here it will take me to the interface of the application. I will roll on it quickly. Here I have created a main page for this application. So this is the way it looks whenever I run it by selecting the run. If I am going to be a developer and I want to see it from the developer side, okay, I would be pressing on this one, which is the edit, which is the pencil. Okay, so here it will take me to the same application, but to the studio of Power Apps where I can just work with the environment that is related to this application. Okay, so these things, before we start hands on our labs, let's just understand these and see the parts I'm talking about. Let me move this way away. So this is the designer page where you are going to be working with your hands-on lab or your application. Whenever you need to create an application, you will be logging into the designer page. Here is the Canvas application designer page. On the left side, you will be seeing the components that you will be seeing here in the middle. Here are the tree view of everything within that application. Here are the pages. Here you can add a page or a screen. These are the screens that will be shown to the users. Here we have also the data. Where are these information coming from? Here I have something called operations dashboard, which is a SharePoint list I am connecting in order to see or to add or to edit the information. And here are the places that shows the properties of each of the components. If I get back here and I press here to see, this is the main screen. This is another screen, which is a new record screen that will change the view, and I will have another form. Here, as I told you, on the left are the pages or the screens. Here are the forms that I'm going to see. The forms are used to fill information, edit information, or whatever. This is what the user is going to see. Here I have created some additional buttons in order to format the view of my application. Like this arrow will take me back to the previous screen or to the main screen. If I press here and go up, I will see what does this arrow do. Here, if I press on this disk, I will be also seeing what this disk will be doing, or this image will be doing. Here, if I press on any of the objects, I will be seeing the details related to that. I can even go with more additional properties or features related to every body or every object that I can see here. Okay, so this is what I'm speaking about. This is the interface of the developer. One more important thing I would like to show to you are the connections that I have that are coming here in the data. As I told you, here are the connections that I have created with other parts of the environment. If I need to add another source, I can add another data or another table or whatever. So here, if I need to connect to maybe another resource like the dataverse, here you can see the dataverse, or maybe to AI model that I have created in, in Power Automate, or even other external connectors, I can just select the connectors from here, and I add them. So if I create an automation, I can add it from here. If I have another dataverse or another data source, I can add it from here. Now we're going to see that in action. Just let me show you the finalized now. This is the finalized application. Here, if I need to create a new record, I will press here and it will open for me in this view. I will be adding the information that I want. After that, I will press on the save. This is an example. One important thing is that I have added here what is called the user who is logged. Here I have added the user. So whenever a user logs in with his credentials, his or her name will be shown here. One additional thing is that I want to view the edit and view or edit the records. The important thing here is that I have a visual dashboard. So I have connected a Power BI dashboard here. All I need is to press on this and it will take me directly to this visual dashboard. So now you can start connecting ideas within your heads on the projects you are intending to create. So here is one platform that is the Power Apps, and I show you that it can connect to different areas. I can connect to Power BI, I can connect to Power Automate, I can connect to AI models, I can add from Azure here solutions like the the machine learning or whatever. So as a conclusion of what I have been saying all that time is that the Power Apps is the place that makes me connect all these together. Of course, I have other solutions, but for us and for our projects that we are going to work with, Power Apps is more than enough. So allow me now to stop these or close all these and head now directly to the hands-on lab we are going to start with. So if we start with the hands-on lab, the first steps are to create, as if you can see if you have opened the file, I would be just here going back without saving anything and heading back to the home screen. This is the home screen, and I will change to another environment that I use for training. Here is the environment I am going to use for training. So I will just show you the file, the Word file that we have shared with you. So here are on the first pages are like main steps we are going to follow. We can read them and know the steps we are going to start with. The first step is we are going to create tables. We have to create tables. Then after that, we're going to create a simple automation before start creating any applications. Okay, or after that, we can do it in both ways. We can start creating the tables, or from within the application, we can start creating the tables. So now after that, we can do like adding the the Power BI and start connecting and bringing all these to our application. So let's start first with the first step, which is creating tables. Okay, the first steps are creating tables. How am I going to start creating these tables? Let's see
Khaled,
that
sorry,
together.
just before we
Yes.
start, let's make sure that everyone has access to Power Apps. Guys, please give us a thumbs up if you clicked on the link and you're following with us. Okay, so everyone can see this page, right? Can see what Khalid is showing on screen now? Okay, perfect. If you have any question, please feel free to post it in the chat and we will be more than happy to answer it, okay? We're just making sure that you're following with us step by step. Thank you, Khalid.
Thank you, Ammar. Now I'm going to start with the creation of tables. Where am I going to do that? Go ahead, Aisha. Do you have any questions?
They can post it in the chat, Khalid, no worries.
Oh, I saw her hands raised. Okay, so I will start with tables. Okay, this is the first thing I want to start with. Here I can see all the tables that are within the Dataverse that are ready. From these tables, if you can see on the guide, we can just select from ready tables. We can use the contacts table and the appointments table. So I have two ready-made tables for me. I can see that I have the table that is called the contacts and the appointments. So what I need to create is create a new table. I can press from here or I can press from here. Okay, so it will take me to the design also. I can use the Copilot to help me create the tables, or I can start directly from blank. Okay, here I can write the table name, change the table name, and here I can add the columns that I want to that table. The tables that I want is the table I want is the doctor's table. I need to add the columns. I will call the column doctor ID. So for every table, I should create a primary key or an identifier, we call it. This field will be like a unique identifier for the table, and it will be the field that I will be connecting to other tables. So this is the doctor ID. I can change the type of this field. I would go with number, and the format, if it has a specific format, I would select it. I will just save it and keep it as it is. So this is the doctor ID. Okay, another column I will be creating, which is name. This is the name of the doctor. Here I can select single line of text. I will keep it as it is. Okay, another column I would need to add, which is specialty or specialization. Okay, and here I might go with another feature, which is not the single text or number or whatever. I can go with a choice. I can go with a choice. Here I might add the choices that I want. Okay, for me, I can just use any choices that we can have for doctor specialties, like diabetes. Okay, another choice like infants, cardiology. Okay, so these are the options that I have. I am done. I want to press on the save. Here I have something wrong with the name. I would correct it, and it would be name. If I need to edit any of the fields, all I need is to just open it and edit it. I need to add one additional column, which will be contact information. So the contact information can be a single line of text, it can be a number, it can be whatever we want. Yes, as Ammar said, if you have any question, if I'm walking or passing through the steps quickly, please let me know. Okay? Is everything fine with you until now, guys? Okay. Can you re-explain specialization column? You mean the choices. Okay. I will create another choice column. I will press here on the new column and will select like something that can be selected like, I will repeat the ages or patient ages, maybe for adults or for kids, maybe ages. I will just select this, then we'll remove it. So I selected the name, and here I select the choice, and here I will be adding the choices that I want. I will add children and adults. Then I would go and press on save. If you press here, as you can see, the specialization, it will show you that it can be selective. Here also, the ages, I can see the adult or children. Good? Until now, everything is good? Let's see here. Any questions here? Can you explain specialization? Thank you so much. You are most welcome. Now let me just put this away and close this and go with a new table. Now I will go with another table, okay? If you like to follow another way, we can use describing the table with Copilot. Okay, I need a, let's say, prescription table with primary key, patient ID, doctor ID, medication so details, and date issued. Let's see what will be happening. Prescription. I need to add a P. Prescription. Okay, and I will press on generate. So here I have these tables. This is the doctor's table. Okay, here is the prescription table, and here is the patient table, and it also suggested the relations directly. I will press here and save and exit to make sure everything is done. If I need to edit anything on the tables, I can do that. Let's just see the results that we have reached until now. Let me, and this time, tell you something, a very important thing. You can also have another approach, okay? This is not the only approach you can have to start creating tables or creating resources. You can simply create applications from SharePoints or from SQL databases or whatever. But this is one of the ways we can create tables and start working with them. So it is not a must to use this. You might build a complete application based on other resources or data sources that you will be using within the services or the applications you are going or the solutions you are going to develop for the competition. Let's just give it some seconds to save the tables that we have created. And during the upcoming sessions, I will always be touching back on this project to enhance it, to review what we have learned newly about the technologies we are going to be working with. So here I have all the tables that are on the Dataverse. Where am I going to see the tables that I have created? I can go to Custom. Here I should see the table that I have created for myself. Here I have the doctors and I should see the prescription tables. Okay, and this is the prescription tables. This is the doctor table. Okay, here I can see the columns of my table. This is called the schema. Okay, it also added some sample data for that. Thank you very much. Here I can add more fields, show more fields, or delete the fields that I do not want. This is the power of the Dataverse. Okay, let me get back to the prescription table to see what Copilot did to us. Was it as we wanted? I can simply search here. This is the prescription table, and it will show me the fields of the prescription tables. Okay, these are the columns that are created by the prescription table columns. These are the columns that are created. As you can see here, the things that we asked for are created, and there are other fields that are also created for this table. This is a good thing in Dataverse, and sometimes you might need to delete or hide some of the fields that are created. As you can see here, what it did, it added some medicines, so it added some data. Now, after we have created the fields, we need to just define the relationships. On the step number 4 in the page that you have, in the document that you have, we need to create relationships between doctor and appointments, between patients and appointments, between patients and prescriptions. As you can see that we have one doctor can have many appointments. Let me ask you, you have studied about, or the relationships were explained to you. Was they clear? Was the explanation clear? So I just jumped to creating the relationship simply, or you need something related to that, or do you have any question related to that? Do you need any clarification about it, or is it okay? Relationships like Power Automate. Let me tell you briefly about relationships. When I have a table that includes some information, like the tables I have here, let me get back to the table and go to custom, and I will go to the doctor's table. Let's imagine the things simply. Ibrahim Rashid Sultan. Don't worry about that. Let's just finish what I'm talking about. Then at the end, I will just tell you how to create a table again. Don't worry. We have all the time to finish everything that we want. So if I have a tables doctor or a doctor's table, this doctor's table, this doctor's table can include information about the doctor. Every table, as I told you, or every information I need to add to any table should have like an identifier, like any of you. All of you have identity cards from the government. That is, we call it the ID, or in Arabic, al-hawiyya. We have this. We all and every one of us has his own national number. or we call it sometimes national security number. So this number belongs to you only. Nobody else in the country where you are might have the same national ID number. So this is your identifier. This is a very important thing you should understand. It's a primary key or an identifier. So let me just put a table and add all your IDs to that table. We are here now around 100 people. Every one of us has his own security number or ID number, which is the identifier. In addition to that, we have my name, we have the date of birth, we have a lot of details. We can add them to that table. Now, I want to connect this table that is called the Hawiya or the ID to another table. And I need to make sure that this table does not, or any of the fields of this table are connected to that other table that includes, let's say, schools that, uh, lessons that you are taking. For each one of you, you might be taking different lessons. So you might be studying like arithmetics, like logic circuits, like, I don't know, English, Arabic, French, whatever. So each one of you might have many connections to the other table that is called the subjects table. One important thing to know is that every subject also has its own unique address or primary key. So math has a unique key. Science has a unique key. So each of these has a key identifier or primary key. So now I have two tables here. The first table is called the ID and the next table is called the subjects. I want to connect every one of the people on the name tables or ID tables to the table that is called subjects. What do I have in common between these? There's nothing in common because this has its own data and this one has its own data. But I need to create a relation. What am I going to do is that I would create an additional field in any of these tables and give it the same name like the primary key. So I will be connecting, my name is Khalid, whose identifier is 123. From 1 to 3, Khalid is studying math. Also, will have another connection with science, also another connection with English. So this is a one-to-many relation. So Khalid might be connected to many tables. So what will be the benefit of this? When I need to ask what is Khalid studying, it will answer me from that table. And when I ask who is studying English, it will just direct me to all the persons that are connected between these two tables. This is simply the relationship, how we create it and how we facilitate it. This is what I will show you in a second. But as an idea, is it understood for you? Of course, we have one-to-many relations, we have one-to-many, and we have many-to-many. Different types of relations, but you can just analyze it and you will be understanding the different types of relation. But in general, did you get the idea behind the relationships? That's great. So now, if I need to create any relationship between this table and another table, all I need to do is to go to the relationships, and here I can select the field I want from this table, which, let's say, the name or the ID. We always look for the ID. I guess I created an ID. Let's say this field, okay, the doctor with the table, another table, or the table doctor, the precision table. Okay, it's already created the relationships, which is one-to-many, as you can see. So also thanks to Dataverse, it created also the relationships for us. So now we have all the relations set. we have created the tables, we have created the relations, and the relations are already set for us. We can just make sure about that by going to the table, selecting the table we are looking for, or search for the table we are looking for. We have appointment. This is the appointment. Okay. And here we can see the relationships. Let me just find any item, appointment, and it is still related here to the attachment. Let me just see due date, due date. What does it have? What fields did we create? I guess we created a due date, maybe, or name. Let's see that. Anyways, if it is not here, simply we can go to a new relationship, select the type of this relationship, one-to-many, let's say, and here we can select the field that we want, and the other table, which will be like the ID, external ID, integrated ID. Let's just connect it to, let me see the fields here, because this is a ready table. I don't want to mix the things all together here. What am I connecting? In the appointments table, I need to, the name is not a good relationship. We need to have, let's open appointment table, see the columns. These are the columns that we have, activity and actual, and is built. As you can see, we have tons of these. We should have like identifier, the ID. This is, let's see the schema. Sorry, here it will show. Just give it a second. It's the subject regarding. It's not viewable. Here we have the subject. Maybe, yes. Here the name is the subject. We have just seen the name of the unique identifier by pressing here to show this. And as you can see, it's written primary. This is how I know that this is the field that I am looking for. So if I need to create a relationship, I would go with that field. So appointments, and now we'll go to relationships, a new relationship, one-to-many, and here I can select the field that I was looking for. It's not shown. Why? Just give me a second. Expect to see much things like that. When you are developing, you might see a lot of things. So don't be disappointed, okay? It's the subject again. This is the appointment here, sorry. Appointment. Okay. Okay, and this is the way I created. I was selecting the field where I should be looking for a table. That's right, Jamil. So now I have created the table and I am ready. All my tables are ready. All my relations are ready. Now I am heading to creating a simple, let's see, the next step is creating an automation or before I create that automation, let me take all these into the application I want. Okay. Now I would go to the application that I want to create. As I told you, I can start creating the application before I do anything. Then I can start adding the tables. But it's preferred to create the tables if I am working with the database. That's in order just to make sure that I have all the tables that I want ready and I can connect them and add them to the screens I am going to start with. I have different ways to start creating an application. You can start with data, you can start with page design, or you can press here on start and you can use Dataverse directly or SharePoint or whatever. From my side of view, I prefer to work with a blank app using the Canvas app. You already have created an application with Dataverse, right? Am I right? In your previous sessions, as I recall, you have created with model-driven apps. Well, model-driven apps is a good way to start, but it's a way that makes things easier for you. From my side, I don't want to make it easier for you, just to give you additional information. So I will start with a blank Canvas app, so you will be seeing and discovering more features. This is because when we start talking about model-driven apps, it is much related to database, not database or data-driven or something related to data application. But what if you need to create an application like for another solution? So the best way is to go, or let me just call it, it's a good way to go with blank canvas app. Here you can, sorry, give your application a name. So medical info. Okay, let's me call it medical info. It's something up to you. So again, I would like to say what we are doing now is like a summary with a real example. So you can fix all the information that you have taken before in order to apply them to your future projects. So how am I going? Where am I going to use this application? Is it going to be on a tablet or is it going to be on a phone? Or maybe later I'm going to use it on a PC. So I would select the tablet now. This is the application name, and I will press on create. Here it's giving you some information. If you need to create a form or you need to create a gallery, I will skip that for now and just show you more additional things that are related to what we are going to create. Here I am going to create, I have a screen. This is the main screen that will be popping when I press on display. Display is like a preview for the application. Here I have a blank application. I have nothing here. So I would ask it. It will just keep giving me information and guidance. I will just ask it to not to do that. If I need to create another screen for this is the application, here I can configure some things related to application. Here is the name of the application. Here are some advanced features. I will not discuss a lot about that. Let me just add the sources of information that I need to add to this application. So here is the tree view. I have nothing here but one screen. If I need to add another screen, simply I can go with adding a blank screen, split screen, sidebar screen, all the shapes or the views that I want to have. I have a lot of templates. So I will add another blank screen. Here I will say, rename this screen. I will call it main screen. Okay, here let's say another name, doctors, list. Okay, and you can add as many screens as you want. Here on the main screen, I would need to add some data. What am I going to do here? If press here on this plus, if I need to add a label, here I would add a label on the screen. I will call this label. I can change the text here. Medical info. This is the name of this label. This is what will be going into that label. I will be selecting the whatever. I will be changing to 28. I can make it like this. So this is just something I need to add. If I need to add a button, if I need to add a table, if I need to have Copilot integrated within my solution, I can add a Copilot here. So it will be using generative AI to help me with a lot of things. I am sorry I pressed on that. Okay, I will just ignore it. And now maybe I will add some icons like the icon that I had, arrow. Okay, back arrow. I will put this arrow here maybe. Yes. And I have next arrow. I will press here. Okay. Then these are just like shapes and things that are viewable for me. What I need to add is data. So data is the thing that I want to add. Here I can select from the tables that I have. Let's add the doctor table, the doctor's table. This is the doctor's table. It's now here. It's now in my environment. Now I have the doctor's table. If I need to add another table, I would add appointments. Okay, this is the appointments. And we also have another table that we have created, which is, sorry, here, prescriptions. How did we spell the prescription? P-R-P. Oh, sorry. I need to press on add data. And here I press on prescriptions. This is the prescription table. Okay, now I have these three tables. What I need to add is like a form. Okay, insert a form. I will press on form. I can have edit form, display form, and or even I can add a gallery. Okay, a horizontal gallery or a vertical gallery. Let me just add one of these, or I can add a table. Okay, this is a data table. Let me just select this table. Okay, where is the data source that you want to get information from? I would ask it to get me information from doctor's table. So here it will be just displaying the information within that dataverse table that I have created. Let me run this one, please. Preview. Here I have all the information that are related to my data. I will press here. If I need to just make the things look much better, I can move the tables here. I can move this from here. I can organize whatever I want from my form. If I need to select this, as you can see here, this is the data table. Here I can see the configuration or things related to that table. If I go to the column, I can see it from here. So this is one simple way. Another thing, I will go now and select, and I will add data and like from the appointments. No, I will add not data, I will insert a form. Okay, display form. And I will connect that to the appointments maybe. Just give it some seconds so it will be showing the information or showing the, and here I can change the views, all appointments. Okay, I can change the views that I want. We'll be dealing with that. Don't ever worry about anything. Just if I need to add fields or remove fields, simply, okay, I will be pressing here and remove the fields that I don't want. It will be disappearing from here. If I need to add fields, I can select them from here also. Okay, and let me select many of them so they will reflect here directly. So if you can see, because they are outside of it, this is why they are showing this. Okay, I will just remove it. Okay, what else do you need to add here? Let's say if I have another data source like an automation, this is what we are going to do now. I would need to add, if I have an AI model, okay, I would select it from here, add data. If I have any connector that I need to add, this is what you have seen in the connectors. Maybe I need to add, for example, the weather from MSN in order to display it on the reservation screen so that patients can see the weather in a specific day when they need to just have a reservation. Maybe they can come or maybe they can't come because of the weather. Maybe if I have other related data I would need to add, all I need to have is to add the connector that I need to be using. Now I will just press on the play. This here, I will go to the table where I have information. This is the view. I would go to the main screen and I will press on the play and I will be seeing my information. So arranging, adding, deleting objects, like organizing the view is not the most important thing, but simply we can just move this. Okay, how can I get this medical info? Can you tell me, guys? How can I reach this medical info? I would go to the screen here where I have all the objects here, and here it is. This is the label. It is selected. I can now move it wherever I want. Now, before I head to the next step, is everything until now clear to you? So I have created the table. I have created the application with the interface. I connected the data. This is the most important, is connecting the data to show on my interface, working with the interface and colors and that. This would be the last step I would care about. But the most important thing is having solid tables connected together through relationships. Then the next thing is to create the application and start connecting this table to this application. So please, guys, let me know if everything is clear to you. I will give you like 10 minutes after I finish explaining the next thing that I need to explain. But before I move there, let me know until now, what I have explained. Is it clear to you, everyone? Please let me know that. How to move the table? What do you think? Do you mean this table? How to move this table? This one? Okay. I will just show that to you. It can be moved by going into some ways is by programming, or something you have to go to the main application settings. I will show that later to you. That will allow you to move these objects. Some objects are not moved, but you can go to the application settings somewhere in the settings here, and you will be able to move the table. Keep it for now until we do what is called the publish. When we create tables, why do we give the tag foreign key and the primary key? What is the difference? Please keep this question until the last 10 or 15 minutes of the session, I'm going to answer all these questions to you. Just give me now like more 10 minutes to explain one last thing on my schedule for today, which is now we have created the main table, started the creation of the application. Now I would like to create a simple automation that will send emails to the patients when an appointment is set. Where do I do that? Again, we will go back to our screen and we'll go to Power Automate. I will share that with you on the chat. Please, Dina, don't forget to remind me about this question because it is important. Okay, so this is how we go to Power Automate or Power, it will be www.powerautomate.com. Okay, you can go with even of this. So I will just press it on here and it will take me to the Power Automate page. I have it already. Why is it so small? Okay, this is the Teams. Okay, I have it already open on my screen here. So I prefer it this way. I would go with the create. If you are here, you can go with the create. So what I need now is to create an automation that allows us to create or send an email to a user. What or how would be working? What makes an automation run? What makes an automation run? Can you answer me on that question? Let me first start from blank. I will start with an automated cloud flow. Now I press here. I will call it send an email when a new row is added. This is what I will call it. But let me ask you again. How do we run? What makes an automation or a flow run? What makes an automation run is an action or a trigger. Excellent, excellent, Shahad. This is the answer I was looking for. So I need a trigger that will make the automation run. So in my case, what is the trigger? When a row is added, when a row, look, I'm just typing and the Mr. Artificial Intelligence is searching for me for the proper answer. When a row is added, again, I will ask, which one of these would I select? And tell me why. I will give you 1 minute to think about it. Attendance? What do you mean by attendance? No, no, no. I mean, here I have, you are asking about the table. You are answering with the table. The first one. Why is the first one? Because it is related to Dataverse. This is the logo or the sign of Dataverse. So whenever I add a new record in a table and of Dataverse, it will automatically send a flow or start a flow that will send an email to the patient that I have recorded in my patients or appointments table. So excellent. This is the one I will be using. I will press on create. Okay. If you can see here, this is the start or the builder. Let me just take it up a bit. If I can increase the size, yes, I can, because you know I am just an old man. who can't see very well. I can ask Copilot to help me creating that, or let's ask Copilot to do it, then we'll do it manually. Send an email to a patient when they have or reserve a new appointment with doctor. Isn't that what we are aiming for? So I would need this trigger or this flow to send an email to the patient, a confirmation email that your appointment was set on a certain day. So this is what I want. Let me ask Copilot. Let me see if a Copilot can do it for me. Let's see what Copilot will do. Okay. So it's now suggesting when a new row is added or modified, okay, this is it, send an email. Wow. So let's see the properties. Here it's failing to retrieve dynamic output. Let's see when it is added. Okay, when a new field is added, okay, send an email. So it will be sending an email. Well, it's good, but let me just tell it to, let me just delete it. Okay. And I will delete this one and start a trigger with Dataverse, Microsoft Dataverse. When a row is added, okay, here I will select when the flow triggers, when added, I will build it from scratch. Which table? The tables that I have, which is called appointments, right? Appointments table. What is the scope? Let's see. I will call it the business unit, the whole scope. And I will select the columns that I want. Okay, here I can, no dynamic contents available. Why is that? This content does not organization. Let me see our organization if it has anything related to that. It's also the same per user. Let's see. There's something not well here. There's not the scope is the business unit. I'm sure about that. Maybe there's something with the parameters or the logging. Let's make sure of this. I am logged in my environment. No security. It should show me some. Let me start it from 0. I will create a no automated with when a row is added. Okay, oh, there's something with the speed. Don't worry about that. I will create it. Now, this is the message that I want to see. This is added. Okay, this is the table. Let me just go with any other table. Appointments. I didn't add anything in the appointments. Let's see with the contacts. Yes, this is the right table I should be looking for, I guess. And here, okay. Now, including dynamic, if available dynamic content is automatically generated, maybe it needs a bit of time. This is what I want to just to show you. It's not very important here, but now this is the value. So when an email or a new contact is added or a new row is added, send an email. Let me add an action here to this. I will be adding send an email. I will write send an email. Okay. I will be sending it via send an email through email version 2. Okay, here to whom is it going to send the email? Here it should show the dynamic content. Okay, where is it going to select this information from? The subject is your appointment is confirmed. Okay, here in the body you can type whatever you want, but the most important thing here is to select from the dynamic content, because don't worry now about the form that you need the attendance. Just be ready here with me. Okay, it will be sending an email and I will be saving this operation errors. Oh, the two, we didn't add the two. We'll just call it email, or add an email here. Let's add any email, test at 123.com. While we have now, we have an issue here now. The body is required. Dear Mr. And we'll go to the dynamic. Here we search for the contacts. Okay, the contact, parent contact value, parent contact. We should be searching for the name from dynamic content. Let's say name, children's name, middle name, first name. It will be adding that, add. So it will be adding the name of this person here. And also let's add another dynamic content email to take it from here. This is the thing that I want. Add. I will steal it from here and let me see if I can have it from here to there. I should add like this one here. So it would be selecting the email of the person. And after that, it would be ready to send the email. Invalid parameters. 2 is required. We added 2. And I guess we are now, where is 2? Added. And let me close this one. And we'll call it send email flow and save. Okay, and this now is ready to be used or deployed, or it will be automatically running whenever we add a value to our Dataverse table. We'll be testing all that on the next session, but for now, let me see if you are good with what have been explained. Be sure that in every session or when you are building any solution, you might face some technical issues, but it's not a big deal because we can solve all these. But as a main roadmap, Is everything clear for you? Please, on the chat, let me know if everything is clear, or raise a thumb in order to make sure that all the steps were clear for you. Please let me know. It's clear. Okay. Thank you so much. Now we head back to like 5 to 10 minutes of questions. One of the ladies here asked me a question. Let me just go back to that question, which was, when we create tables, why do we give foreign key and primary key? Okay. If I have a table, let's remember the tables that we were talking about, the information table and the books table or the products table. As we have said that in the person table or main information table, I have a primary key for Khalid. We have, let me show that to you in a way that will be explaining more. I will go with Excel. Just 1 second, Excel. Okay, I will open Excel to explain what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the Excel. Let's imagine we have, this is, I will call it, first thing here, I will call it customer table. Okay, this is the customer table. Under the customer table, I should have customer, customer ID, name, address, phone, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here I have products table. Okay, and as a unique identifier, I should have a product ID, name, description, price. Okay, Dina, are you with me? Okay, and I have this is table one. It includes a lot of data. And here is table two that includes a lot of data also. Okay, just explaining that for you in order to understand the difference between a primary key and a foreign key. Now, for the customer ID, for each customer, I would need to have a unique ID, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 5. Now Excel will figure the pattern and will fill that for me. Okay, the products here like have 3 to 1, 3 to 2, 3 to 3, and now I can continue the pattern. So I will just give an example about Khalid. I love my name. Here we have banana, apple, cucumber, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Khalid can have a relation or can purchase bananas only or apples only, or he can purchase all the products or the total products on that table, right? Right. So this is a primary key for Khalid, and this is primary key for the products. So Khalid has a relation with this product is that he can purchase them. So I can just simply, if I need to add a shape, let me add a shape here. Where are the shapes? I remember that there has been some shapes that we can connect with. I can't remember that. So I can have a link between Khalid and bananas. To have that link in this table, I should add here, okay, another customer ID field, okay, customer ID field. Sorry, I will not add all these. Control C, and we'll add it here, Control V. Okay, and since Khalid has a lot of relations which he can purchase all these, I can say that Khalid can buy all these and add his key here. But this key here on this table would be what? A foreign key. This would be a foreign key, and this would be here a primary key, and this would be here a primary key. So whenever I have a primary key on one table linked to another table, this key can't be the primary key of that next table. It would be a secondary or a foreign key. Is that understood? Dina, is that good and understood for you? Okay, again, don't get lost. I don't want you to get lost. Here we have a table that includes my name, my address, whatever. This is Khalid, this is Lina, this is Rana, this is Ahmad, whatever. And here I have a table that is in a supermarket who is selling bananas, apples, cucumber, Pepsi, milk. Okay? So, as a product, let me just now see that every person in this database has his own identifier or number or primary key. Also, the bananas here, which are the products or the apples, they have their own primary keys. Banana has their own primary key. Apple has their own primary key. What is the relation between the customer table and the products table? Is that we have a customer here that can purchase a product or multiple products. In order to connect these two tables together, all I need to add here to this products table is another field, and I will call it the customer ID. This field will be the link between the two tables. So for each customer here, I can have a link with multiple products there. As an example, I have one-to-many relationship between the customer and the products table, and let's be sure that it also can be from this side to this side, many to one or many to many. But let's skip this in order not to get lost. So what I added here is the primary keys of the customers into the table of the products, and I call this as a foreign key because this table already has its own primary key. By adding these fields here, I can connect the tables together by a relationship. Good. We have 1 more minute. If you have any more questions, you are welcome, Dina. If you have any questions, please drop on the chat before we say goodbye, and hope you a lovely evening. And I hope we'll see you on the next session. Thank you all. So, Mr. Ammar, do you need to add anything or to say anything?
No, nothing from my side. Thank you so much, Khalid.
You
It
are
was really,
welcome.
really interesting. And I was actually following the steps and I was able to create an app. So we, we ask
Okay.
everyone who attended the session today, please follow the steps mentioned in the hands-on file and feel free to email us at AI Innovators if you have any question, if you have any concern, and we will be more than happy to answer you. Please also make sure to log into Canvas LMS and finish all the lessons and quizzes there, right? We look forward to seeing you in the next session, inshallah, on Thursday, because in the next session we will continue part two of the hands-on. And we wish you all the best. We are here to support you, and we know for sure that you will come up with amazing projects in this competition, and hopefully this will be your step closer to winning, inshallah, the competition. Thank you so much again for joining the call. Thank you so much, Khalid, for
You are
conducting
welcome.
this session, and we look forward to seeing you, inshallah, in the upcoming sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you guys. Goodbye.